Welcome back to my Mental Health and Crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is the case of the Idaho 4. May the 4 victims rest in peace, condolence to the families, and may the correct justice be served. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions. Today I'd like to go back to the beginning of this case. In the beginning of this case, before Kohlberger was arrested, there was a lot of rumors that were surfacing online, mostly coming from the college students. That is one of the reasons I've always paid close attention to certain people. One of them is Jack D. I'm just going according to what I see that is not right. And out of all the people close to the victims, it's Jack D. That is my hashtag #1 suspect. Due to many factors, but let's start from the beginning. Like I said, my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions. This was in the memorial. Just pay attention to how Steve is looking at Jack D. If looks could only unalive a person, this doesn't look good. He wasn't allowed to speak at the memorial. Let's not forget, according to Steve and Chrissy and Alvira, they said Jack is 100%, he's 200% one of us. Yet he wasn't allowed to speak that day. This was in the beginning of this case. His hand looks swollen. Inflamed. Look at his eyes. Look at his face. He's with his uncle. His uncle is fixing the SUV. It's a black SUV. This was on the 22nd of November. Why did Jack D go and color his hair into black? 10 days after the unalivings. Pay attention to the black truck. Doesn't that remind you of the black truck that passed by Banfield, Taylor Avenue at 3:30? I believe either it is Quinn Kelly, DM's father's black truck, or this man has ties to people who have a black truck, in my opinion. You can see the article, Jack Decor and Murphy, a dog he shared with unalive victim Kaylee Gongalves, are seen Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022 in Idaho, Moscow. I will try not be biased towards Jack D. I have no reason to be biased to him, but I have to put my feelings aside. And my feelings strictly come from all the red flags I've seen of this young man from the beginning of this case. I've been paying attention to this case from day one, and nothing has made sense with Jack D. Now that the reports have come out, it makes zero sense. It's more baffling than it was actually in the beginning. There was bullet fragments, red flag #1, found in his house, although he shares his house with 4 other roommates. Red liquid drops, 5 to 6 red liquid drops were found in his kitchen. Red flag number 2. In the middle of the interview, he got himself an attorney. His mother called him. He asked for his attorney, Jed Nelson. So the interview had to be postponed to the 17th of November. So he started the interview on the 15th and then asked for an attorney. Red flag number 3. Red flag number 4 is a major one. So far from all the reports and interviews, he was the only one who was asked to draw each and every roommate who lived in 1122 King Road, his rooms and the names. You have to read between the lines. The cops are not going to tell you that they're suspicious of someone. He was the last one to be ruled out. Red flag number 5. Red flag number 6 is my major one. That his professor was concerned. His own professor was concerned and referred him to mental health counseling, which he did not attend, allegedly. So as a licensed mental health counselor, I have issues with that. And another red flag from the professor was that the professor was concerned for Jack D's breakup with Kaylee. Are we on 6? Red flag number 7. He can't remember picking up the phone for Kaylee. But he was on for 17 minutes from 2:24. Who made up this story? And what is this vape story that Kaylee wanted to give him his vape pen back? And my actually number 1 red flag is that nothing looked right to them. His face was inflamed. His hands were really inflamed. He had on one band-aid, either in the middle finger or the long finger. The pointer finger. There's something not right with Jack D. He was going through a terrible breakup. Another red flag. Why did we hear crime or passion from the mayor himself? And then later on they started changing the words. Kaylee was going to move to Austin, Texas. Why was BF saying no, she wasn't going to move? She changed her mind. But that wasn't true. Kaylee was going to move. Another red flag, Kaylee moved on with her life. Kaylee dumped Jack D. It wasn't the other way around. Jack D was stalking Kaylee on social media, if you remember. There's even some of the texts he sends her, or he's talking to her directly and indirectly, and she ignores him in front of her friends, in front of everyone. Kaylee wasn't following her sister Alivira, neither was she following Jack D. Want to know why? His hand looks swollen. His face. He's wearing a cap and then a hoodie cap to hide his eyes, because one eye is really swollen. He looked like he had a severe fight with someone, and that would make sense with Zana trying to fight back. He must have caught Ethan by surprise, allegedly. And let me show you this article that I have shown on my channel for the last 3 years. I think the last time I showed it was 10 months ago. That is one of my strong intuitions that Jack D could be involved. because these rumors were coming out from the college, the university themselves, allegedly. This is all my speculations. This was speculations and rumors that came out from the university. So remember, guys, we don't know if it's facts or if it's just somebody trying to play on social media. Relations to case. In May, I graduated from University of Idaho and quickly thereafter moved to North Carolina. I have a relative who has been working as a coroner, not the one who spoke publicly, so that's not Macbeth, on the case. Additionally, and maybe even more importantly, some of my best friends who were upper classmen this year were involved in making the 911 call. So who would that be? Eva, Wood, Emily, or Josie? So one of them were involved in calling the 911. Why am I sharing this info? I have been holding onto this info since the day the case broke. I was told by my friends and family to not share this info. Today I hit a breaking point. I haven't been able to pull myself away from this case. It's becoming increasingly... I can't read the first two sentences, but basically the person was getting very frustrated holding this information, and they're fed up of the amount of misinformation being spread around. What I know to be true, Jagdi is suspect #1 for law enforcement at this moment and has been since day one. The fact that they cleared him is a common tactic used by Eli Chucho of both the public and the suspect. True, we know that. Kaylee's family was likely instructed to vouch for him. They believe that Jack either committed this crime or hired someone to do it. Wow. So either Jack, I'll never forget, that was always the rumors that he rented basically people to do this. Ellie believes that Jack D either committed these crimes or either he hired someone. I really believe this. Very possible. I believe, in fact, he hired someone and he was involved in the crimes himself, allegedly. This is just my opinions. Because hearing all the concerns from professors, Kaylee having a stalker, behavior patterns going on with him, changes going on with him getting himself an attorney, red liquid fragments found in his house, bullet fragments. He was one of the first people at the crime scene. Him and DM, his fingers did not look right for me. All of these things are concerns for me. That's the reason I've never looked away from Jack D. Now this is important. They believe that he hired someone to do it. But they're puzzled by the fact that Maddie's body was mutilated the worst. Trigger warning. Most wounds... So Maddie got the most wounds and the only one to be particularly decapitated. Poor girl. May she rest in peace. I've heard that before. I've heard that at least 3 different occasions. 3 different incidents that have nothing to do with each other. I've heard that Maddie was mutilated. May she rest in peace. But it's not a fact. We don't know. There's so much rumors. that we don't know what is a fact anymore. But these were the rumors. Going back to it, Ellie's building came. Ellie is building a case to arrest Jack D, and they're trying to determine why he was so aggressive with Maddie and less so aggressive with Kaylee. Ethan was found laying in the doorway of Zana's room. He was in the second floor. And I've always said, this girl from North Carolina who moved out, who was in the same group, so she would have been a senior like Kaylee and all, said the same thing, that Ethan was found at the doorway of Zana's room. Isn't this really interesting? Because when Ashley Banfield heard it from her sources from the grand jury that Ethan was found at the doorway, it did look like the picture I showed you all. But what do you think about what this girl said about Jack D? I really do believe it. I do believe there's some truth in this. I remember this article and the other girl who worked with Jack Showalter at the Flat Bread Bakery in Boise, Idaho. She complained about Showalter harassing all the females who worked with him, and that she had to slap him to move him out of her way. So the two Jacks and the two Davids and the surviving roommate were the talk of the town from the beginning. But to be very honest, from the beginning, rumors were that the surviving roommates, locked themselves up in a room. So I believe they were lying. Besides the sorority girl who sent me a message and said that DM was involved. So I don't know how much I should believe of what. I do believe the sorority sister. She said DM called us on FaceTime early in the morning, and she said she had a KNIFE in her hand. So take this with a pinch of salt, all of these. But these are the rumors going around about Jack D in the beginning. And then when you look at how Jack D looked from day one, his behavior patterns, how he started changing, it was a talk of the town of Idaho, Moscow. Everyone was saying after the unalivings he was not doing well. Come on, family. His own professor was worried because of his breakup with Kaylee. Isn't that a concern enough? How did he get red liquid and bullet fragments in his house? He literally lived a stone throw away from the girl's house. He could see Kaylee's veranda from his room. What is really strange is he was the last person to be ruled out. Jack Showalter and the surviving roommates were the first two people to be ruled out. Even Eric Gower, the private shared driver, was ruled out before him. And what vehicle did he borrow from Steve that he was still driving? When he was asked by the police, do you have a vehicle? He said, I was driving. I was still borrowing the Gongo Elvis's vehicle. Was he working for them? And why was he opening GoFundMes? One's for his dog, one for Kaylee's car, SUV. Her father had to put it down and open a new one. What was going on with Jack Denny and his family? Why was there so many GoFundMes? And I'm just reading what people put out in social media. So this young woman is from North Carolina. If you ever come across this, the person who put out this article, could you please contact me? Or leave me a comment. I would really love to know why so many people thought it was Jack D who did it from the college. He had access to the house. He knew the code to the house. He would know everything about Kaylee. Was Kaylee studying from home because of Jack D? Was Jack D the stalker? I've been asking for a very long time. Could it be Jack D that was the main stalker? Did he get upset that Kaylee moved on? Crime of passion? Because he was actually thinking of it. He was talking on social media. If you'll go back to the case in the beginning, go back to Katie's social media. She's not respond to him. Let me know what you'll think, guys. For Kaylee to have got such horrific injuries, I really believe Jack D and the sororities could be involved. Molly and Liz Gray was everywhere that night, laughing and giggling at Kaylee and Peyton. What were they up to? Liz Katovich's brother opened the $6 Venmo, and they sent him one with the caption 3:30. The whole college knew about what was going on. And why isn't there any audio to the grub truck, the corner club footage? Why are they redacting so much? It's my question. Let me know, guys, what you think. Please like, share, and subscribe. What do you think about the girl's article from North Carolina? She went, she did the senior year with Kaylee and all. She moved to North Carolina and she was frustrated to keep this information. Somebody in her family is a coroner too. I think he's spoken. Poor Maddie. Is that why mother doesn't want the crime scene pictures to go too deep? If Maddie was, trigger warning, mutilated, then that's really sad. Let's not forget, we heard a female yelling at 2:55. Stop it, stop. And at 2:53, Maddie was trying to call Bethany Funk and she didn't answer. 3:12, we had the figures running. It's the Banfield boys. And Jack D, in my opinion. Let me know what you'll think, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. May the victims rest in peace.